Hey guys, Happysplasher here. Good evening. So right now I'm going to review this new update we have in regards to the seasonal battles. I looked into a couple of these things here, and basically they fixed a little bit of the matchmaking and also made it a little more balanced. The bulk of this video is actually going to focus on the heroes that are going to be around for this season, and there's also a lot more heroes that you can use this time around. So we're going to go take a look at all of them actually, and then we'll also talk about some other thoughts regarding the format, and then also what I've seen, and then also a little bit of battles as well. As you can see, we have a lot of heroes to cover here, so let's just hop right into it. All right, so first of all, the level of heroes that you have there, so they're only going to be as strong as what you've leveled them up to. So if we say click on this one, for example, see that we have this very strong one that we have here with a lot of levels. We can still level her up some more, but we're going to hold off for other events. But yeah, as you can see, they're dependent, they're not all the same. So that means that you are, whoops, oh, here we go. Yeah, not every hero is going to have the same strength, and because not every hero is going to have the same strength, it will also play into how you create your squad. So you may not want to put in a weaker hero if you have stronger heroes, but you may want to put in a weaker hero if their skills will complement your squad. So that being said, let's go check out the heroes. So first of all, we have the Aphrodite over here. We have one of the good skills that we've seen is this damage skill at the end of the turn, equal to 100% of health of a random ally in the line. That'll allow you to deal some quick damage if you have another hero on your line. And then that'll also allow you to get a quick win where in spots where you might not be able to deal damage over to the Warlord. We have next here the Adorn over here with a little bit of resistance. This resistance skill will help out in keeping him on the field as long as he's able to kill something. We have next here the Kong Monkey King. We have a little bit of the reflect damage that happens as long as he is attacked. And so that'll be a little helpful in terms of keeping heroes off the field. We have next this Tiny Windrunner here with evasion to a random ally whenever you kill one of the enemies. That'll allow you to keep your heroes protected from ranged heroes. We have next here the Holda. The Holda steals some health from an enemy or a warlord, and will also allow to freeze. And then it has its own ability to keep itself cleansed, so that way it won't get affected by poison or other damage skills. Trying to think what else. Negative attack, things like that. We have here the Bravi Deadly Blade, allows us to deal a little bit more damage to ranged heroes, and then also dealing additional damage to the Warlord whenever they're attacked. That'll allow you to deal some quick damage over to the Warlord. We have next this Aravada Heaven's Fury. He has resistance, and then also allows you to heal whenever your Warlord is attacked, and also heals your own heroes. That'll allow you to play a little more defensively. We have the Yuri Shadow Dagger with the extra damage over to ranged heroes when she attacks, and then also gives some damage runes whenever she kills something. We have the Legion over here with some attack boosts to order heroes on your side if you end up killing an enemy, and then also gets an extra attack for every order hero that attacks on your side. Next we have, oh, I hop a lane? I did hop a lane. That's what happened. All right, we have the Merton Care over here. It allows you to get some extra rabbits to summon, and then those rabbits can actually cause silence whenever they are destroyed. We have the Toxic Mantis over here, which steals some attack and then also gets a health boost whenever it kills something, and then also gives Toxin when it dies. We have the Old God over here with freezing of ranged heroes whenever he's attacked. He also has immunity, so that'll keep him safe from other damage skills. And then also, if silence does occur, we'll be able to steal health from the Warlord, so that gives you a little bit of protection against things like Ogre or Alexandra. We have the Justia Law Goddess. The Law Goddess here will give an attack boost into the allies in the same row, equal to her health, and then also gets a health boost and gives miss, which will actually stop some of the other heroes from attacking. All right, let's see here. We have, going down to the third row, we have the TNT Crazy Demolitionist with some damage runes. These will allow you to mark some tiles for damage, and then also prevent other heroes from getting on the board. We have the Ariok Nemesis weapon with some bleeding to the enemies, and then also has invulnerability, so it can't be destroyed unless it gets attacked with another skill. We have the Yoster the Dawnglow with some silence when she dies, also deals some damage at the beginning of the turn and flight. We have the Mina Helsing with some extra attack once she attacks the Warlord, and then also deals damage to the enemy Warlord whenever one of the enemies attack. And then has accuracy and evasion, pretty good skill. We have the Scrap the King of Garbage. He allows us to deal extra damage to the enemies behind the target and also has extra attack and does some attack steal. We have the Dark Iron Maiden with the immunity and then also deals some damage whenever an attack bonus happens on the enemy side. Okay, and going down to this row here, we have the Hanzo Sama with some melee, counterattack to melee heroes on your side, and then also mental shield whenever an enemy dies. We have the Miss Lappin here with the negative attack to enemies in the line whenever they appear, and then also does some freeze, and more importantly, as well gives some health to your Warlord for every enemy in line, so that's pretty good. We have the Vanakori here with some reflect damage to the Warlord equal to the attack of the attacking enemy. Also gives an attack boost and a health boost whenever we heal or when an ally dies. We have next the Tesla X. The Tesla X can deal damage at the end of the turn for every hero that's on the board. And then also whenever any of your heroes or the enemy heroes die, and some damage at the beginning of the turn. We have next the Sir Lancelot with the block given to your heroes, so that'll help them take a little less damage whenever they're attacked. Also, they reflect damage whenever any of your heroes are attacked. Okay, going down the bottom row here, we have the Alexandria with the Life Palace, which will allow you to heal your Warlord for some health. Also, the Cleanse skill is good for removing negative effects on your side, and then also silencing a hero whenever she attacks it. All right, we have the Dominus the Swarm King here with the extra attack and also some extra damage and adjacent, and also gets a health boost whenever he kills something. We have the Count Vlad here with some Vampirism and then extra attack. Also has some damage at the beginning of the turn and also heals himself. We have the Red Woman here with some Vampirism to the allies so they can deal some extra damage. Also some extra damage whenever Vampirism triggers. And then also has a death trigger here to give an attack boost with heroes with Vampirism. Finally, we have the Mr. Devil here with some damage to all heroes when he comes out in play, and then also some extra damage when he attacks the Warlord and deals some damage when he dies. Okay, so in terms of lessons, what I've seen so far in the Seasons battle, so we're not dealing with a lot of other heroes that are clearly not here. So for example, there's no Ghosta, so you don't have to worry so much about attacking an open lane and losing a hero. There's also no Groot, so the only way to do silence is either going to be Warlords or specific heroes that are available here. The epics and rares of these heroes are also available too, but you probably won't be using them unless they're very, very strong. I've also seen that offense is a lot more important than defense here, unless of course your defense prevents people from attacking. So heroes that I would normally choose in this kind of setup. Well, we can actually go over to the squad, but we'll just take a look at some of them that are good. So for example here, the Aphrodite with the extra damage allows you to get more attackers, quote unquote, on the board. And this health skill here as well with the healing and then also the 2 pentagrams. These pentagrams can help you defend from the Morgoth skins that are going to be running around. The big damage skill with the dealing 150% damage equal to the attack. As long as your heroes have higher health than attack, you are pretty good to avoid that damage. Okay, we have another thing over here. As said, offense is usually better than defense, but there's also some good defensive heroes here. The Old God here with immunity allows you to avoid taking some damage from other skills, also freezing some ranged enemies for a turn. And there are a couple of swarmers in terms of range heroes that could be a problem. For example, the Emergent Care over here. We have the Miss Lappin over here. We have the Mina Helsing over here. The Justy the Law Goddess will help because of not only giving miss that will slow down the enemy, but also giving an attack boost to your own heroes, so you're kind of gaining a lot of tempo. And then also getting a health boost as well for every order ally. So you could probably build more of an order hero squad. And there's also no Void Jewel here as well, so that way you're not going to get punished if you run an entire order squad. Right, you could play defensive too. As mentioned, not recommended, but there are some heal skills that you could use. So the Tortoise the Wise one here gives you a health boost whenever one of your allies are attacked. And then also he himself has an ability to get an attack boost whenever one of your heroes die. And Flight also is not too bad anyways, because the only way to get rid of that is either through silence or through a strong ranged hero. Right, the Aravata here can also combo with that heal skill, so you can also do a lot of healing, and then the immunity to silence is good, and the resistance over here also prevents him from taking a lot of damage, so in case you want to set up for your board. Okay, we have another one here, the Yuri the Shadow Dagger. This one, as mentioned, does the damage runes, and those damage runes can be useful in order to prevent other heroes from landing on certain tiles. Being able to deal damage to 3 random range enemies is pretty good, but again, there are not too many swarmers that you really have to deal with, as mentioned. The Murden Carry is one, but it'll end up silencing the Yuri Shadow Dagger at that instance once she does the attack. Another one here is the TNT Crazy Demolitionist with these damage runes. These damage runes can be okay, but if your TNT isn't that strong and the damage runes aren't that strong, you probably shouldn't be using them because those won't deal as much damage as you could. This extra skill here with damage to adjacent enemies whenever they die, it's good in terms of clearing heroes out, but not as effective as it looks. It needs to be a lot more stronger. Okay, let's see what else. I would say the Yoster over here is probably pretty good because she has the flight skill and then also the silence built in, and then also some damage at the beginning of the turn, which is really nice. The Mina Helsing is also pretty good. We do have a little bit of a boost happening, but that's okay. Objectively, the damage happening to the Warlord for every attack, that allows you to actually deal some more damage. And then also the accuracy and evasion will get around the heroes, in particular the, the Justia, and also some other, oh yeah, Tani Windrunner also creates evasion. The Scrap the King of Garbage here with the extra damage to enemies behind the target. So this skill is actually going to be good because if your opponent starts first and they start behind a building, it's going to be very hard to actually clear it out. Other than using another hero such as the Mr. Devil over here. Maybe the other heroes with extra attack like the Dominus or the Count Vlad, but their damage isn't going to be enough in order to actually clear out the hero. So you'll want to keep that in mind. Okay, what else we got here? Another good considerations are the Mislappin with the free skill in order to slow down the heroes and then also give them negative attack so that they won't be able to deal as much damage to you. And this healing skill could work out as well. I wish this hero were actually weaker, so that way you could just freeze and then keep your heroes alive longer. But yeah, it's kind of backwards. All right, we got a couple more heroes to take a look at. This Vanakoria is also pretty good, especially when you're dealing against stronger opponents because of that reflect skill. And also, it doesn't trigger off one of the damages off of the Morgoth. So that's also nice to have. And as you can see, the health is pretty good. Attack boosts are good too if you are doing some healing. So that could also combo again with the Tortoise and the Aravata. The Tesla X over here, similar category, building that doesn't trigger the Morgoth skill. The damage happening at the end of the turn is kind of nice, so that way if you are being blocked on multiple lanes, you could still deal damage to the Warlord, or if you're getting swarmed, that will work too. And then also if any hero dies, we'll deal extra damage to the Warlord, so in case you do fall behind on the board, you can still block and then potentially deal lethal by having one of your heroes being destroyed. Okay, we have the Alexandria here. Again, a lot of good abilities. The Life Palace used immediately as a blocker for her. Immediate heal if this Life Palace does come out and play. The Cleanse skill is good to get rid of some things like poison or extra damage. It doesn't go around the Morgoth skill, but it will go around things like... Let's see what would make sense here. I think there aren't any skills to actually take off. No, actually there's not. Okay, so the Cleanse skill may not work, but the Silence skill is pretty good in order to actually shut down a lot of annoying heroes. The Dominus Swarm King here with the adjacent damage is also pretty good in order to wipe out some of the board. The extra attack allows you to get a lot more aggressive on the board, and then the extra health boost allows you to keep it on the field, especially against the Morgoth damage. Yeah, and there's also not a lot of good ways to actually clear out heroes on this particular season. There's no immediate damage, no really strong heroes per se. Let's say we have the extra attackers, and that's really about it. So you could go defense, but again, it's really up to you. Whatever works for your squad would make sense. Finally, we do have the Count Vlad here with a little bit of vampirism, so it allows you to deal some damage through other heroes with block. And then also some healing at the beginning of the turn. Health is not too bad, although the attack is not that strong, so keep that in mind. And then we have the Mr. Devil over here with some immediate damage to the board, so that's good. Not too much damage to all of the heroes, but just enough in order to actually clear out some buildings, at least for the first couple of turns. Some extra damage to the Warlord, so you can kind of deal some damage, especially when you're being blocked. And then he deals a little bit of damage to a random enemy when he dies, so also not too bad. But again, it depends upon what the skills are for your particular heroes. All right, so we'll head over next to the Seasons battle. Let's just go over there. Then you can also take a look at the squad that we're running right now based upon the recommendations. Yeah, so as mentioned, those are the heroes that I am using. We have, as seen here, the Yoster, the Justia Alexandria, Mina Helsing, the Aphrodite, Scrap King of Garbage, the Dominus, and right now the Vanikuri. So as you can see, a lot of heroes can actually do some form of extra damage, whether it comes from the Mina here, the Aphrodite here, the Vanikuri here, some extra attack here to deal some more pressure on the board, and then also allow us to block too with a hero with, let's see, does it have evasion? No. Does she have evasion? I forgot. Yeah, she does have evasion. So yeah, that's a little bit of defense. And then we also have some more defense over here. And these we have enough order heroes to actually make this Justia pretty valuable in terms of defense. As usual, we are going to be using the Morgoth unless otherwise prevented, as it is still probably the best skin in the game. And we have used any of the other ones? No. Unfortunately not. So until Morgoth gets nerfed or blocked from the season, we're going to be using that. So now we'll head over to the season's battles and we will demonstrate some of the stuff. We'll also open up one more here. And we'll talk a little bit more about the strategies. We are currently right now in 15th place. Let's see how that is compared to the rankings. So 15th place is just a couple points shy. I've seen that at this point now we're only getting around 10 points per battle if we do win. So from 15 to potentially 13, that's good. And you can see a little bit of movement around here. In order to get legendaries, you have to be in the top 20. And last season, when we first started, we were actually landed at 25. So we're going to do a little bit more of analysis here when we hop into some battles. So yeah, let's go. Nope, and we should probably turn off auto, otherwise we won't be able to pick up. Okay, so as mentioned already, we have this Morgoth, which is going to be a big problem because of the high health from the Dominus, the, the adjacent damage. So we're going to start with the Alexandria here on a 1 to silence this hero and then make it not much of a threat anymore. Okay, we got next the TNT over here with the damage runes, again preventing us from putting out some heroes on some cells that we want to be on. We do want to clear this out as soon as possible, and so we'll go next with the Scrap King of Garbage here on C3. The damage behind, breaking the building, and then also getting rid of this hero. Okay, we got next the Tesla X, which is going to deal some damage at the end of the turn. We'll be able to clear out this hero, so that's not a problem. We'll take a little bit of damage off of the hero death, so we're at 103. And probably next turn they're going to be doing their damage skill. So we want to find a way to prevent. Let's do... We want to keep some heroes on the board. Let's go actually with the... It's kind of tough because we're all also a little far behind here. Let's actually put the Yoster here, so we can give a little bit of a boost to our heroes. We can also deal some damage at the beginning of the turn. Right, so at this point we have now the Mina Helsing with the damage whenever one of our heroes attacks. Alrighty, since we can't clear out this rat, the Scrap King of Garbage, we are going to be taking lethal because we can't stop this hero from attacking. And so that is unfortunate, so we will have to surrender here. And so in that particular battle, you saw that having offenses is going to be pretty good. Especially when you saw that hero, the Mina Helsing, there is no way that we can't avoid attacking, so that's why we're automatically going to take the damage. But that's okay. We'll hop into another battle and do some more analysis. Oh yeah, I also forget about their pets too. So yeah, their pets will also factor in a little bit. We have a little bit of health boost to the Warlord, and this Drogon in particular is going to deal some damage to our heroes. We'll take some damage whenever we attack one of their heroes, and we'll also take additional damage whenever, let's see, whenever one of our heroes dies. Yeah, so that's also not good too. And you can see the discrepancies between health, but yeah, not too much going on here. All right, so we do have an option. We can actually start with our Dominus first and clear out these buildings, get a little bit of a health boost, or we can actually start defensively and go with the Mina Helsing. Given that there's not too much hero destruction, we're going to start with the Dominus first, and we'll place it over here on... You know, we can take advantage of the extra attack. Let's actually go with the Dominus here on B3. So you can see we got a little bit of damage going on, high health. Okay, this is the Mergenkier. This is the one here that we're talking about. So we summon a rabbit, and that rabbit, as mentioned, when it dies, it silences the killer. And so because of the adjacent damage, we actually want to send a hero here on lane A. So in this case, you just want to summon a hero that we don't mind having silenced, which in this case will probably be the... Well, it's probably be the Yoster this time. We're going to summon her on A1. You can see the silence skills. Silence stats are the base stats, and so they're pretty good off the silence. And next we got the Aravata here with the resistance and the healing of the Warlord. We're going to actually place the damage skill on him because we need to get rid of him as soon as possible and also prevent the healing. There's silence here, adjacent damage there. We can still deal damage over to the Warlord here. Let's see how much health boost we're going to be in. So 62, so not quite enough. Let's actually place out the Aphrodite here. So we'll place the Aphrodite here on B1. And the reason why, as you can see, since this is the only hero on our lane, we are actually going to deal that much health damage. So at this point now, they have their own Aphrodite, but they are going to be taking lethal before anything else. We'll just summon a hero over here on A2, and there we go. All right, we'll hop into some more battles. Okay, so once again, we've seen another opening of a Dominus. We will block with our, not our own Dominus, but actually with the Yoster here on C1. The flight skill of the Yoster will stop the Dominus from doing damage. So we effectively stopped this. I was actually kind of surprised that the Alexander didn't drop to silence this hero. That's fine. We have actually no way of clearing out this hero behind this very large building, but we can slow it down. And we'll actually go with the... Yes, we will go with the Justia here on B1 to clear out this building, give this hero an attack boost, and then also start giving miss to this hero.
Yeah!
Okay, some damage from the Yoster at the beginning of the turn. That's fine. We're going to take advantage of the Justia's attack boost. And so what we'll do, we do want to clear out these heroes. Let's actually place the damage skill so that way we can actually clear out both of these heroes this turn. And then we're also going to summon some more order heroes. We want to deal a lot of damage this turn. So let's go with the Alexandria here on D1, which will take advantage of the Justia boost. We have also an extra health boost because of another order hero we summoned with the life power. Okay, we did lose some heroes, and that's quite okay. We have another Aravata over here. We're going to take advantage of the Justia once again, and we'll place it on D1. Attack boost, and there we go. And if the attack boost didn't happen, we'd still have the lethal damage from the Aphrodite because of the Life Palace comboed with the Yoster boost. All right, we got a few more battles. Okay, we're starting first this time. As mentioned, we're going to go defensive, but we also want to put some attacking on the board. Still like having our larger stats, so we're actually going to go with the... Do that, could do that. Let's see if we can combo with that. No, yeah, we can start early. Let's do that. Let's actually go with the Aphrodite here on A1. I want to get these health pentagrams out on the board early and then potentially use them for something. I don't know what quite yet. All right, so we now have this Mina Helsing. This Mina Helsing is protected by this building, but because we have the Scrap King of Garbage, we'll summon him here on D3. We'll take a little bit of damage, and that's fine. Oh, and we don't have quite enough. It was because of... the Prince Gleedy with the health boost. That's not what we want to see. All right, that's fine. Well, we'll go with the damage skill to actually clear out both of these. And we want to take a little less damage, so what we're actually going to do next is place this building here on D2. So we'll trigger one less round of damage off of the Mina Helsing. Whoa! We can block damage and actually reflect damage here with the Yoster. Or sorry, the Vanakuri, rather. Even with the TNT here with these damage runes, we still have lethal because we have our damage skill at the end of the turn with the Morgoth. So we don't have to summon a single hero here. We'll skip the turn. We'll let the attack happen. And even with the Mina Helsing damage, we still have lethal at the end of the turn. All right, yeah, let's hop right back into battle. Okay, they're using the epic version of the bleeding. I don't know if that's going to matter, but we'll see. Nope, okay. All right, we're also at a little bit of a disadvantage because we have the Caesar's head on their side of the field. This one will give mental shield to the enemies at the beginning of the turn, which in this case is going to be this very large Dominus. Could block using the, what do you call, the Vanakuri. I think, as mentioned, we're going to go with the Yoster in order to actually stop this from happening. And this is the type of move that I expected. So now we have the Alexandria here with the silence. So now we can't block this lane anymore. At this point, we will try to at least get rid of the Caesar's head and also potentially give this miss. So we'll go with the Justia here on A1. Have to break shield here. Okay, we lost a hero over there. Let's go with the damage skill. Our Justia is actually going to get missed from another Justia. We can still deal a little bit of damage. We actually do need to break this shield, but we won't be able to get rid of this shield, which is kind of annoying. And also the Alexandria with the silence will also stop our Vanakuri eventually. So let's actually go with trying to stop this. We'll go with the Scrap King of Garbage here on B2, or sorry, C2 rather. All right, so we got a little bit of attack steal, so that's good. Yeah. So we got the Aphrodite happening here. Some damage happening there. Extra damage happening there with their own Aphrodite. And we do not have a board presence over here, so unfortunately we will have to take the loss. But as you see, it was also pretty strong opening from the start, dealing with a 1,000 health hero. And if we didn't have the Yoster, we were going to be taking lethal anyways, because not even our Vanakuri could block. All right, well, we can hop into a few more battles. Let's see if we can just fill up these slots at this point. Okay, we're facing an ogre this time. The ogre has the heal, the buildings, and also the stones with the heal. I imagine that this is actually going to be a better matchup for us because we have our soul binders as the very last skill that can actually get rid of the heal stones, but we'll still take this at face value. So let's start with the Aphrodite here on B1. Clearing out this hero, getting some health pentagrams, and trying to fill up much of our board as we can. Okay, we have another Mina Helsing. Let's see how much damage she deals. So 136, so that's not great for us. We're actually going to place this Scrap King of Garbage here on D2, looking to set up with the Justia on perhaps this lane. And as you can see, the extra damage behind the target allows us to get rid of the Mina. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we are going to be able to deal a little bit of damage, so let's go. Although we are going to be silenced too. Let's go with the damage skill just to get rid of the Alexandria. And since we are going to be silenced, we could do a little of both. We are running a little low on health. I do want to take advantage of this damage. Let's see there. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, we'll go with the Justia and we'll actually go for a little bit more damage. Okay, so we took some damage. We see some silence happening. Got rid of the Alexandria. Oh, I guess we should have gone for the health. Well, that was unfortunate. That scrap with the silence really kind of put us in our place. All right, that's fine. Open up another slot here. Yeah, probably the buffer for the health would have been a little more helpful. Alright, so we're facing another Dominus. Let's go with the Alexandria here on B1 to silence. Also the blocking here. Okay, we have again another Hina Helsing. As you can see, very consistent. Go with the scrap here on B3 to defend, putting out some heroes. And we're also taking some damage off of the Mina Helsing as well. Alright, we'll go with their damage skill. And then just to get rid of the Alexandria, and then also we can't really block her at this point. We're going to go next with the Justia here on A1 to go for the attack boost. Okay, they've done their damage skill. And unfortunately we did take the loss because the Justia cannot stop a single hero from coming out. It can stop other heroes from happening though. Alright, well, let's keep on going. Alright, let's see here. We haven't really used the Vanikori in many spots. The Alexandrias floating around are becoming somewhat of an issue, but if the melee hero comes out first before the Alexandria, then we actually have guaranteed damage. So we can actually use this as more of a finisher rather than a defense. Alright, let's actually start with the... Let's start with the Mina Helsing here on the C1 behind the building. Okay, so we do have a couple of options. We can actually try and deal damage, or in this case, we can actually go with the building now to block. They could place down an Alexandria in order to get rid of this hero, but that's fine. I would rather have some defender. And if it doesn't happen, that's even better for us. Okay, this hero has evasion, so that's kind of weird, but that's okay. Let's see. Damage over there. We're gonna go with our damage skill, and then just for safety, we're also going to go open up this lane here. So we'll heal a little bit of health. And I do want to make sure that we can actually attack here. Okay, and that was good. I was actually surprised. They probably could have just done lethal there. Alright, well, we got one more. Let's see if we can get the win here. As you can see, the theme of the Dominus coming out is pretty prevalent. All right, let's see. So they have 2 extra attacks. We'll be able to block a little bit of damage, so let's do that. I was thinking about the Yoster too, but I really want to find a time to actually get this on the board. All right, that's not going to be good, especially since we won't be able to stop that. Hero's gone. We're going to be taking 345, and any other hero that attacks now is going to cause lethal. Yeah, that's also going to be another thing too. Ouch. Yeah, the Aphrodite with the extra health boost from the Dominus also counts as play. I don't think we're going to be able to get around that unless we had something for the Dominus, so that's kind of unfortunate too. Alright, so let's see. Well, let's try this again. Let's go with the Mina Helsing here on A1. Get some protection behind the building. Go for some early damage. Okay, this time around, let's actually help us block. So we'll go with the Yoster against the Dominus. Okay, it was actually good that we did stop that. So let's see. This extra attack is not damage. We can actually deal a little bit more damage on this board. We won't actually have to use our damage skill either. So let's go with the scrap here on A1, or A3 rather. Alright, so we see the damage skill. See they're on scrap, and that's fine. We could either destroy this in battle, or we could use our damage skill. Next turn we do have the soul binders, so that's actually good for us. Good setup too. Yeah, let's actually go with the damage skill, and then let's follow up next with the Justia here on the 1.
Whoa!
Okay, they got the TNT over here. This will be the first instance of us using the soul binders in the season, so let's do that in order to clear these out. And I think I set this up correctly. Even though we did lose a soul binder, we might still proc the damage. So 280 will be enough to clear out 2 of these heroes. And we do want to take advantage of the Justia over here. Let's actually go with the Aphrodite on the D1. So not quite enough for lethal. We thought we had it with the extra damage at the beginning here. Okay, and we will have lethal now. Even if the soul binders don't end up connecting with this Mina, we'll have the Aphrodite damage, so we'll just skip the turn. And there we go. Okay, so where did we end up? We ended up back to 15th place. Okay, so a little bit of ups and downs there. Had a little bit of a kind of a bad run towards the end, but as you can see, a lot of just maneuvering over there. Let's actually head back and go check it out. So as you can see, certain heroes are coming up more often than others. We'll see, let's see what has been showing up. Aphrodite has been showing up a lot. Not so much Justia, but it's still useful. See a lot of the Aravata because of the resistance. We have the Yuri Shadow Dagger to clear out multiple heroes. TNT is pretty strong in terms of keeping heroes off the board. Not so much Eosters. I like the flight, but again, not really seeing too many of the same heroes. Mina Helsing showing up a lot for the damage. Scrap is showing up a lot because of the attack steal and the damage. And not so much to the Vanikori, but we have seen a lot of the Dominus, the Alexandria. So yeah, just a lot of pretty strong attacking heroes, if anything. I've also seen, as mentioned, they had a little bit of a combo with the... If you can get a Dominus to Aphrodite, that's pretty much going to be game if you have a very strong Dominus because of the high health, followed by the extra damage at the end of the turn with the Aphrodite. So yeah, feel free to look at combos and also just figure out what's good for your playstyle, for your squad, skills, and all that. So yeah, so that is the season for, I guess, now. And when the next season starts, we'll do another review of things to come. Yeah. That's it. We'll see you guys later. This is Happysplasher. Sign off.